Hello there, it is time for a little bit of mermaid magic. Oh, do I love mermaids. I add a little mermaid-esque shit to the scenery. Well, mermaid-esque shit. It's just this big-ass abalone that I got just now because I really wanted a bigger one. I already had one and it was kind of small. So, we're here. And I'm ready to get my mermaid on because I have quite a collection of mermaid decks, and they're going to be tarot and oracle, and we're going to alternate. So I want to start with this little cutie right here. I mean, look at that box, that holographic box. The Tarot Siren. Fell in love with it when I saw it for the first time, and I actually won a copy that I gifted to Martin. This is by the same creator as the Marshmallow Marseille. I don't have that. I'm always down for good modern Marseille, but I mean, look at that holographic back. However, I'm here for the mermaid vibes. Now, this is not going to be flip throughs. As you can see, this is a Marseille deck. But I wanted to say aside from, but most of the pips are pretty traditional, except we do have that watery vibe kind of going on. But all the majors and the quartz have this mermaid theme, which I adore. I absolutely love it. It's very cute, very traditional. All the titles are in French. I just think this is fab. Ooh, whoops, I just dropped a card. What card was that? Oh, 5 of Staves, figures. And since I'm a pip deck lover, Wheel of Fortune falls, figures. Since I'm a pip lover, I love this. Look at that moon. Look at that. I would honestly love for this to be a huge print and put it on my wall. It's a small deck, so if you have small hands, that's good. The cardstock is very normal, which I like. And all of the tarot collectors are gonna go, no, it's too thin, but I think it's just fabulous. It's the perfect on-the-go deck. Look at that Ace of Cups. The illustrations are done. Look at that. Oh, look at that Knight of Cups. The illustrations are sublime. The kings are thick muscle daddies. And I'm really digging it. Look at that. That's the Hierophant. I adore this. This is probably one of my favorite Marseille decks. My favorite one would be the one JJ Swiss, but that's not... I would almost say that this is more traditional, but look at that star, too. I love the funky watercolor vibe this has got going. Oh, man. It's just freaking amazing. And probably tarot-wise, I have a couple more mermaid tarot decks, but mermaid-wise, probably my favorite tarot deck because, you know, it's got that Marseille vibe. It's got everything I want and need. So yeah, this is probably one that I would recommend this. 10 out of 10 would recommend. The next one is kind of an odd one because it's not a pictorial deck. This is an oracle deck by Lucy Cavendish. It's called Magical Messages from the Mermaids, 50 Healing Offerings from the Elementals of Water. And it opens like a little treasure chest, just like that. And you kind of get this little box where the cards are sitting upright. You get a title card on how to connect with the mermaids, for healing guidance. And then you basically, then there's another title card on the back. Thank you, Blue Angel. This is a Blue Angel deck. And then you basically get these texts. I'm not going to show them all because you kind of get the gist. But, you know, you get these little words of advice. And what I do every now and then is I will not even shuffle them before use. These are the backs, by the way. I think this looks really cool as well. I won't even shuffle them. I will give this deck a shuffle. When I actively use it, I will give it a shuffle maybe once a month. And then I will just go through the cards like this And whenever I get a tingle, I pull the card and I read the message. Mermaid's breath. Take a very deep breath. Let yourself drink in the sweet element of air. Connect to life from a higher perspective and see the bigger picture. Honestly, guys, these are like, I know it's an oracle deck, but these are like mini tarot readings in a box. So I like these a lot. Even though there's no pictures, I really dig the vibes that this deck gives me. I think the box is fabulous. I mean, it's a great gift for anyone who loves mermaids, especially if you want to gift someone something who loves mermaids but isn't into divination per se. You know, this is just a fun little gift that you can give them. Like, really fucking cool. I love it. So that, the next one is a deck that is out of print and then in print and then out of print, and I have to get it out of the box. I'm not going to do that on screen because it's terrible. I found this in a store in Amsterdam when I was with Finn of Finn Flips Cards. We met there. I got it on a whim and I really like it. The Undersea Tarot. This was done by Frank Fradella. But the art was by Jesiel Sanchez Martinez, and this has that 90s comic book vibe. It's a really, 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 really cool deck. It has a very minimal little white book, so I'm not going to show it. The only gripe with it that I have is that it has a misprint on one card. But this is a really cool mermaid deck. The art does have that kind of bare bones 90s comic feel, which I love. There's no body positivity in this deck because everyone is ripped as fuck, and you know, some people hate that. I actually don't mind it. You know, I like looking at some sexy muscle guys every now and then. So it is pretty straightforward, cookie cutter. I hate this card, by the way, but I hate most of the Sun cards. It's pretty cookie cutter, Rider Waite. However, you know, like I said, the art is a little bit minimal sometimes. You know, you get this whole lot of blue in the background with nothing going on. But it's a really cool deck. I had never seen this before, and I was kind of like, huh? Why is no one using this? And I think I know why. I think I know why no one's using this, but I'm not going to say that on here. Let's just say that people have problems with imagery that isn't super soft. And I like this imagery because it's more harsh. So I think this is really cool, and I'm really glad that I get to show it to you guys because not a lot of people know about this deck. And you know, if you want, look at that magician. Like, wow, I adore this, really. This is the card where the imagery is a little bit blurry. But you know, I'm not going to complain. I think this is really dope. I like it a lot. And another thing I don't like is that it has the word undersea as the back. I wish this would have, I really wish, I don't mind plain and simple backs. I rather would have had this plain blue, that would have been fine for me. But you know, this is definitely one of those older decks, definitely one of those more 90s decks. This was published in 1990 something, so I'm gonna have to get it back into the box now. That's gonna be a joy because this is those old US Game Tuck boxes. But you know, it's good. I like it. It's a really good deck. It's very much a, you know, it's fun to have themed decks for when you do themed readings for someone. I don't know, it just helps me get into the mindset sometimes. Now let's get back into an oracle deck. Oh, the box is a little bit bigger than the tarot deck one, so I have to move my crystals out of the way. I hope no one notices. The Magical Mermaids and Dolphins by Doreen. You can still get this if you look good. This is probably one of my favorite mermaid oracle decks, honestly. It has really good keywords at the top. It has great art. I really dig this like super 90s, early 2000s art. I could have included more decks in this, but I wanted it to be purely mermaids. Mermaids and dolphins are fine, I guess, but there's also a lot of people that do videos like this, and you get a whole bunch of sea creature decks, and then there's one mermaid deck, and I'm like, I was here for the mermaids, not for the fucking fish. So, yeah. I think this is really cool. I like it a lot. There's some cringy art in here, but it's a fun little deck. It's cute. If I were to say, if I were to do readings at the beach, I would totally bring this. It's a total crowd pleaser. I would probably bring my Marshmallow Marseille and then finish up the reading with a card from this. I think this is something that, you know, it's a crowd pleaser. It's cool. I like it a lot. It's a cute deck. I actually feel like this is one of her best. Like, her earlier work is definitely the best. And I got this deck from Martin, so that makes it extra special. Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, y'all. It's really good. Ooh, another Messages from the Mermaids deck, but this time it's by the ever so lovely Karen K. So this is a Hay House Oracle. God knows how Hay House decided to publish Karen K. But, you know, good for her, because this deck is really, really gorgeous. She got a great artist to work with her. The artist's name is Linda Olson. What makes this deck mermaid-esque, aside from the art? Nothing really. It's very, I love this card. I just love getting masculine energy in mermaid decks, and that's really difficult to find, and I really love that this is in here. It's really difficult to, what was I even talking about? I just love this card. There's not a lot of mermaidness to this guidebook, aside from the fact that there's mermaids on the cards, and then you get sometimes pretty random keywords. Here, another one, yay. But, you know, it is a mermaid deck. Honestly, once again, readings at the beach, don't want to bring a tarot deck. I probably bring this and Doreen's deck. But you can kind of see that Hay House was trying to find a replacement for the Doreen deck, since they're no longer allowed to publish them. So, you know, it's cute. It's good. The art is freaking amazing. And it's gorgeous, and I should probably use it more. I haven't used this in a while, so I don't know why, guys, but I was really feeling the mermaid energy today, and I was like, I gotta show YouTube what's up. So that's a really good one. One that I really, really love, surprisingly really, really love, that doesn't get a lot of love from people, for reasons I completely understand, is this one. Whoops, the crystals have to go even farther out, but that's okay. Myths and Mermaids by Jasmine, Becca, Griffith. Really, really big Blue Angel box. I should have known that. Look at me trying to make things pretty. I just can't. The Magical Mermaids is a really cool, Myths and Mermaids is a really cool deck. This is normally not my type of deck, because it has a lot of landscape cards. But I love Jasmine, Becca, Griffith's art, so that's why I got it. It's gorgeous. It has really nonsensical titles, but the guidebook is just stunning, because there is a really sweet poem in the guidebook. You can look the cards up easily, and it immediately gives you a keyword or key concept for you to work with, so you don't even have to read the whole paragraph or the whole 2 pages if you don't want to. There's also little symbols at the bottom here, and I forgot what they were for, but at first I thought that they were just there for funsies, but they do have like a they do have a function. So that's pretty cool. So everything in this deck was thought about. Let's see. Yeah. There's sort of a memory game you can do with them. But there's also, oh yeah, it's for yes and no answers. Let's see. If the symbol is blue in color, the answer is yes. If the symbol is black, the answer is no. So there you have it. That's actually pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, pretty cool artwork. Let me just fling that over here. I'm not gonna, this is amazing. So pretty cool artwork, weird titles, but honestly guys, I'm not gonna read a paragraph. You're just gonna have to trust me. Or maybe I'll just put it up on screen so I can show you. But the guidebook to this is stellar, especially when you're looking for a mermaid deck that may be a little bit darker. For example, what was a good one? Oh, that whale that I just showed, big blue whale. With you by my side, O benevolent beast, I will always be mighty and strong. Your manner so docile, your body colossal, docile, colossal, cool. Your great weight and force keep me swimming on course, embracing the sea with your song. A mermaid swims close beside an enormous barnacle-encrusted blue whale. In spite of the creature's impressive size, the mermaid shows no fear, indicating the pair are close friends. This gentle giant clearly means her no harm. Divination message, use your power gently. And that's usually where I stop. And then there's a whole story that you could look at, but I usually don't do that. It's a really cool deck that also has some more, you know, dark messages, so that's pretty cool. Another one that I'm really digging at the moment is this one. This is an oldie by Lucy Cavendish with art by Selena Fennick, The Oracle of the Mermaids, and this is the new edition that I got. I didn't even know I was going to get it. The older edition got some hate because I believe it was the Yamaya card. Yeah, oh, it's right here actually. So this card right here, Yamaya. Yamaya is, I believe, an African goddess, a black diaspora goddess. And she was depicted as a white woman in the original deck, which was a little bit cringeworthy. Then again, the original deck was published a while ago when we weren't as aware. But what I think is really cool is for this new edition, which is on that lovely Blue Angel cardstock. And they're the only ones that have done this perfectly. Listen. Ah! And they've actually changed the art. So that's really cool. This is a really fun deck to use. It has really cool art. It has really cool keywords. This also has some masculine energy in there, so that's cool as well. It's not just girls. I love this card, The Return of Aphrodite. I think it's stellar. Contumacy, yay. This has really cool artwork. Soul Cage, look at that. It's absolutely stunning. It has tons of, Lucy Cavendish is always very much about stories and about lore. So this guidebook is not just for funsies. This guidebook also will tell you all about the different kinds of mermaids there are and mermaid lore around the world. This card right here, whoops, there goes the shell. I suck with these like scenic presentations. I just can't do it. I bought this deck solely based off of this card because I think this is so important in Oracle card work. Honor the fucking masculine, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine, and I adore this art. So thank you, Lucy. So yeah, this is an oldie but a goodie, and I adore it, and it works great in conjunction with that other little mermaid card deck by hers that I just showed you. These two work great together. You know what? Fuck all these crystals. I'm just going to get rid of them completely because, you know, people, I just got to be me and I'm too messy for all of this pretty nonsense. The shell can stay though. But yeah, so this Oracle of the Mermaid is really great and then works really well. You'd think that there'd be a lot of like overlap between these two, but because I essentially thought that this was just the bigger version of this. But then I saw a flip through of this and I saw, hey, that it did contain, this contains 55 completely different messages. So that's pretty sweet. Ooh, one I acquired recently. I'd never seen this before. Mermaids and Dolphins by Gillian and Kemp. This is really cool because this is basically sort of a two-parter deck. It's by Chico Books, so you know that the cardstock isn't going to be amazing. Is it serviceable and is it fine? Yes. And you know, I'm not that rowdy about my cardstock anyways. So this is the deck. These are the backs, gorgeous. So Mermaids and Dolphins, take that literally. You get cards with a pink border that will have sea creatures and dolphins and stuff like that. Cards with a like slightly lighter pink border and the shells in the corners will have mermaids. So this is the Mer Baby Eel. So this deck has really cool sort of cute, folky, vintagey artwork that I really like, and I know a lot of people dislike this, but I think it's really cool, and I really like the messages on here as well. So this is dope. This deck is really cool, and it's really affordable. Look at that. Not more masculine. Again, there's a lot of masculine energy in here, which I like. We don't see that in a lot of Oracle decks. Another one. Like, there's something really classical about this art style that I really adore, and I think it's really cool. Oh, cute. The narwhal. Oh, I love the narwhal. The water leaper. But yeah, really cool art, really cool messages. I love that we sort of have a double deck or a 2-in-1 deck. So you could either pick your mermaid guide and then divide the deck into mermaids and dolphins and then pick your mermaid card and your dolphin card. I believe it has 52 cards, so that's quite a lot for an Oracle deck as well. And the guidebook is really cute, and once again, a really cute gift for the mermaid loving friend in your life. And I haven't really seen a lot of people use this. This is quite old. It doesn't even say Chico Books on the back here. It says mindfulnessetc.com, which doesn't even exist anymore, I think. But this is Chico Books. You can tell by that old school box, right? That box. Let's see, what else? Oh, I have one left. Okay, cool. This box is too big to show anyways, but it's the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson. Is it my favorite? No. Is this the most crowd-pleasing mermaid deck I own? Yes, because it's super pictorial. You know, I have a problem with this deck, which is funny because, you know, Lisa's really cool. But she hated doing this. She didn't want to do this. And when I heard that, I was kind of like, bitch, well, you know what? I would love to do this. So scoot the fuck over, make a seat at the table for someone who isn't 40 plus years old, white, and basic, and let me do it then. But, you know, she did do a fucking great job, so who am I to judge, right? This art is amazing. The art was done by Julie Dillon, and what Lisa does, how Lisa creates decks, is something that I have so much respect for. I love this Page of Pentacles, really cool. She writes the whole deck, so she writes a story per card. This is really gorgeous, though. I should use this way more than I'm doing right now. Oh, man. She does about she writes a story per card, really describing in great detail what the card is, what we see on the card. But fun fact, when she writes that, the art doesn't exist yet. So she basically doesn't even write that for us. She essentially writes that for the artist, and the artist takes that writing and runs with it and creates the magic. And I believe that as a tarot author, that is probably the most authentic way for you to work with an artist. Like, I dig that process so much. Do I like every card? No. It's a little Disney-fied sometimes, but yeah, I think this has some original depictions too. So, you know, Lisa, you deserve my utmost respect. I may have sounded a little bit disrespectful earlier, but you know, considering the state of metaphysical publishing, you probably get where I'm coming from, because we don't all get lucky. Also, these card backs are my favorite card back designs ever. Look, this is stunning. So this deck is really cool. The guidebook is fun to read. Honestly, it is. And, you know, I kind of like that she's so blunt and honest and transparent about her process. It has full color art, so you can look at that up close. And they're fun. They are fun. So that whole story is, in the beginning, interesting creation story. So this is definitely one of the guidebooks. I rarely read these Llewellyn guidebooks, but this one was really fun to read. I read it front to back, and yeah, I probably would read it like that again. So those were all my fucking mermaid decks. And I'm gonna say goodbye. I hope I inspired you, showed you some stuff you maybe didn't already know, and love you. Bye-bye.